Greetings everyone, Oscar here, and welcome to my review of yet another episode of The Flash. This episode is called All-Star Team Up, and it mainly focuses on Barry Allen teaming up with none other than Ray Palmer the Atom in order to stop this week's bad guy, the Bug-Eyed Bandit. So, before I start talking about this episode, I would just like to say that there might be some potential spoilers within this review, so if you actually haven't seen the episode, then please pause the video right here, go watch it, then come back, and then you can listen to my lovely voice. But with that said, let's review episode 18 of The Flash. Now, as I said, this episode focuses on Barry Allen teaming up with Ray Palmer, and the reason as to why Ray Palmer is in this episode is because he wants the Flash team to help him tune up his Atom suit a bit because it doesn't really function the way that he wants it to. And since Ray Palmer is in Central City, that means that Felicity is also in Central City. And if you listen closely, you can hear both Zach and Josh groaning over the fact that she is actually in this episode. Don't worry, Felicity, I still like you, even though you have your faults. I mean, you're not as horrible as Iris. My god, do I wish that Reverse Flash breaks her neck. Anyway, in this episode we also get two subplots. One of the subplots focuses on Eddie Thawne dealing with the fact that Barry Allen is the Flash and that he can't tell Iris about it. Because that's something I forgot to talk about in my last review. Within the last moments of last week's episode, Barry revealed his secret identity to Eddie Thawne, so now Barry Allen, Eddie Thawne, and Joe West are going to investigate Harrison Wells together. The other subplot of this episode deals with Barry having to trust Caitlin and Cisco, because during the course of this episode, Barry is sort of arguing with himself whether or not he should tell Caitlin and Cisco about Harrison Wells. On one hand, they actually deserve to know, but on the other hand, if he tells them, can he really be 100% sure that they are not actually in on the entire thing? So that's actually something that Barry has to come to terms with, that he actually needs to trust Caitlin and Cisco. I mean, because if he can't trust them, then who can he really trust? This episode also deals with the debut of the newest bad guy in Central City, the Bug-Eyed Bandit, aka Brie Larvin, a former robotics scientist who wants to take revenge on the people who destroyed her life. And in this, iteration of the character, they have sort of done a gender swap because the Bug-Eyed Bandit is usually a man, and they've also combined the character of the Bug-Eyed Bandit with Queen Bee a little bit. So, yeah, it's a combination of two characters. Also, throughout this entire episode, we see that Cisco actually gets a flashback where we see that he remembers the fact that Eobard Thawne actually killed him. He remembers that separate timeline for some strange reason, and I hope they do explain that to us further down the line. I thought that this was an okay episode. It's not a bad episode by any means, but it's not really spectacular either. I did enjoy seeing the bromance between Ray and Cisco, because you could tell that from the moment that they met, these two just connected with each other, so they instantly became bros. And some of my favorite moments in this episode is just between the two of them just talking, and they actually named the bad guy together, which is really funny. Another thing that I did really like was the opening of the episode where we get to see the car chase, and we got to see Barry using his powers in a really innovative way to stop the bad guys. So that really shows us that he is now a lot smarter with his powers. He actually uses his powers to his advantage now. Also, in this episode, we see the return of Amanda Pace playing Tina McGee again, because she is the former boss of the Bug-Eyed Bandit, and the Bug-Eyed Bandit wants to take revenge on her. I really like that they brought in Amanda Pace for this episode. It's always really nice to see her, and that she is still connected to the Flash character after all these years, and her talk with Barry at the end was also really good. So, yeah, it was awesome to see her. The only thing that I didn't really like about this episode was the villain of this episode. I mean, for what she is an okay villain, but I found her to be incredibly weak. She didn't really feel like she posed a big threat to anyone or to the city at large. And if you compare her to some of the villains that we've had earlier, then yeah, she's kind of lame. Nothing against Emily Kinney, who played her in this episode. I thought that she did a good job, but yeah, as I said, the villain felt kind of weak. All in all, it was an okay episode. It did move the main plot a little further, but not by much. For the most part, the episode felt like filler, and it really dragged in some parts. And I wish that we at least could have moved a bit further with the entire plot of Barry and Eddie and Joe investigating Harrison Wells, but sadly they didn't. So, all in all, okay episode. I mean, you can check it out if you want to, but in the long run, you won't really remember the episode. And this episode is not really important to the series as a whole. So, yeah, check it out if you want to, but yeah, it's not really necessary. But now, I want to hear from you guys. Tell me, what did you think about this episode? Please leave both positive and negative comments in the comment section down below. And signing off, this is Oscar. Have a great day, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in a flash.
Oh, hey. I hope you guys enjoyed what you just saw. I don't know what exactly you just saw, but I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you really did like it, go check out our other stuff. You know, we have social media, Facebook, Twitter. The link should be somewhere here. Also, we have other channels too. We have our movie video game channel. We have our music channel. Obviously, our comic book channel too, because we know we do all that entertainment awesomeness. We also have a website. Go to our website, HybridNetworkYT.com. And check out our other videos. That's all I really have to say. It's Josh, and I hope you guys enjoyed what you watched.